Now, the Federal Executive Council met on Friday to approve the 2026 appropriation, after which it would be presented before a joint sitting of the National Assembly. The discussions on the budget were the only item lined up in a meeting that started at noon. Kehinde Amodu reports.
The aggregate expenditure for 2026 is projected at 58.47 trillion naira. 6% higher than the 2025 budget estimate. This includes projected spending by government-owned enterprises amounting to 4.98 trillion naira and 1.37 trillion naira for grants and donor-funded projects. The projected aggregate spending also includes statutory transfers at 4.1 trillion naira, debt servicing at 15.52 trillion naira, including 3.388 billion naira for the sinking fund to settle local contractors and creditors.
So good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. Welcome to this press briefing after the just concluded meeting of the Federal Executive Council. Let me say that this is a one-item FEC meeting. It is to consider and pass the 2026 budget for transmission, for onward transmission to the National Assembly later today by Mr. President. The budget has been looked at and discussed by members of the Federal Executive Council after its due presentation by the Honorable Minister of Budget and the Director General of the Budget Office.
Other details in the budget include downward review of the projected exchange rate from 1,512 to 1,400 naira against the dollar, which would require changes to the budget size. Personnel cost is expected to include pensions at 10.75 trillion naira, which includes 1.02 trillion naira for budget-owned enterprises, which is 7% higher than provided for in the 2025 overhead cost. Capital expenditure is also expected to fall from 25.68 trillion naira to 22.2 trillion naira, which is 1.8% lower than what was projected as capital expenditure in the 2025 budget. This, according to the designers of the budget, reflects a more conservative approach to capital planning and a focus on completing ongoing projects.
This afternoon, the Federal Executive Council considered the 2026 budget proposal that is going to the National Assembly, as well as an amendment to the medium-term expenditure framework, which we propose a revision downwards of the exchange rate from the 1,512 to 1,400, and the consequential changes in budget size. So the Federal Executive Council approved both the amendment to the MTEP as well as the 2026 budget proposal for presentation to the National Assembly. Thank you.
These cabinet members would want Nigerians to believe that the 2026 budget reflects a deliberate balance between macroeconomic stabilization and development imperatives. An interesting point to note is that the budget estimates on oil price, exchange rate, and dividends from government-owned enterprises are conservative and not overly optimistic. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.